But let's talk about this injury here for a second, because I thought Tyreek Hill's reaction was at the very least unusual, where he's leaving the field and he's smiling. And it seems like a forced smile. He's blowing kisses. He's on a cart. If you want to put up the photo, I warn you guys, it's gruesome.
Like put it up right as the warning was coming.
When,
All right.
When I saw Tyreek Hill on the sideline, he was motionless on the sideline. And when I saw his leg going in the wrong direction, it was fairly immediate that you can doctor diagnose. You said might be out for the season. No, he's absolutely out for the season, and that's the end of his Dolphins career. Like that also obviously ends his trade value as well. The Tyreek Hill era is over in Miami, and what they got out of it was an exciting season and a half of offense and no playoff wins.
Right. Yeah, I don't think that's a stretch to say that his season is over. Given his age, given his reliance on speed, it was a gruesome injury, not just the dislocated kneecap, but an ACL, ligament damage. We don't know yet whether there's nerve damage, which would be really, really bad as well. But, yeah, I mean, I feel bad for Tyreek. He was having a very good game. He was showing signs of having a better season than last year. And it's terrible. I feel bad. That was the spirit in Tyreek, though. I don't think that was a fake smile. I think that was him. You know, the first thing he said to Mike McDaniel on the sideline before he was hospitalized was, make sure our guys win this. You know, he was thinking of the team. I think he went out on a high note for such a gruesome injury.
It was a really gruesome injury. It was really disturbing. Right, Billy?
I mean, I think what it really showed us was his true character and spirit on the field. You know, not necessarily on the field. Man, what a leader. Did you see that?
Yes.
He didn't want to come out.
Punching players in the face before the game, including Tua.
Let's play the sound of Tua here, who had his cliches ready until he realized halfway through the cliche that that Tyreek Hill was injured, and injured in a way that would echo throughout their postgame, because if you had any hope for the Dolphins season, it dies there. What they got from Darren Waller last night is not something they'll be able to get very much more without Tyreek Hill as a threat. That offense is going to be neutered no matter how many tackles Achane breaks, and Achane's been great this year, running very hard for them.
Can I just add really quick before you show that? Like, I understand what you're saying, that you're not going to be able to get this out of Waller anymore because, you know, you don't have Tyreek Hill anymore. They paid Jalen Waddle to be a top guy. Like, okay, so I'm not trying to minimize Tyreek Hill's absence here going forward, but Jalen Waddle is supposed to be a top guy. They pay him to be a top guy, and they literally drafted him in a spot to be a top guy.
I could not agree with Zaz more. He has the ability to be a WR1. He has the speed. He's not Tyreek fast, but Jalen Waddle's a very fast receiver. He's above average speed. He should be able to be the guy now who stretches the field and opens it up for the tight end.
I think his role doesn't change. I think you're going to see Malik Washington step more into the tight end.
Why did you call him WR1? Why did you do that?
You know, I'm an NFL insider. You know, that's the lingo. That's the lingo we use.
Is it quicker just to say wide receiver?
I think Waller could get 27 yards again in a game.
2 touchdowns? You think he's going to be a 2-touchdown game?
I think he get 27 yards again in a game.
Let's play the number for him yesterday was 11.5 yards over under in the game. That's how little the expectations were for him. Zaslow crushed Waller, and Waller's going to be on the show with us at some point today because that was a really nice return for Darren Waller. It's a nice story as well. He's holding the ball on the onside kick at the end after scoring 2 touchdowns. But let's play the sound of Tua when he went to some of his go-to cliches and he realized in the middle of it, and we've got a pretty major injury.
All glory belongs to God. My Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Just want to thank him for this victory for us, keeping us safe for the most part.
For the most part, doing a lot of work there.
Like, when would he have not included like he said, okay, for the most part. Would he have left for the most part out if someone died? Would that have been okay?
There are only 2 injuries last night that the Dolphins could have suffered that would have felt quite like that, and they got one of them that felt like that, and I thought they were going to get the second when Tua's sliding and they're going after his head and getting an unsportsmanlike penalty for going after his head.
Yeah, he sold that. That was Kiko Mawanoa, though.
Yeah.
Former Kane.
Tua came up smiling, which was good.
Keeping us safe for the most part.
Guy's career might be over.
I mean, his Dolphin career is over.
He's not wrong.
Yeah.
Most of the guys did leave the game healthy.
Yeah, I do think that it was all right. I don't want to be. I'll be that guy, I guess. Briefly, it was a very strange reaction to.
I'm with you, man. I thought his reaction was a little bit disturbing.
I saw a guy who's got some odd thoughts going on in his head and felt, oh my gosh, people like me for this moment. I feel like that's what I saw. I saw a guy of like, oh my God, you actually, thank you so much. Like I want so badly to be loved.
I mean,
That's what I saw.
there are certain people that undergo traumatic experiences, and their first reaction is to laugh. Like that is their emotion. But I don't know. It was weird. It was like Antonio Brown vibes.
I have to agree that he was laughing instead of crying, because he knew more than anybody, this isn't just a bad injury. This is I'm out for the season. This is probably the end of my career. I don't think that's over exaggerating to say that. I don't criticize him for not weeping.
I don't think we're criticizing. We're more just like
we're acknowledging that it was bizarre.
It was just a little bizarre.
Okay, I thought it was fairly normal, and the psychology you alluded to is accurate. Sometimes you smile instead of crying. You don't want to show your real emotion, so you have a forced smile.
Greg, when you say that reaction is normal, I've never seen it from someone on a cart, blowing kisses to the crowd, waving and smiling.
Saying
He
we're
was
number
fist
one.
pumping.
It's legitimately something I've never seen from a guy being. Look at how neighbors left the field.
it's usually towel over the head. It seems like they're crying.
Sure. Yeah, I know that he was devastated inside. He's trying to put on the best face possible for his team. I really believe that. He doesn't always come off like a team player and a leader. That's an understatement. But I think in the matter of last night and the way he went off that field, I think that was leadership.
I got a text from a friend of mine that says, with so many dangerously dumb things happening, where do you rank Tua refusing to wear the extra protective head wrap over his helmet? I have it at 27th dumbest thing, right after having TV commercials for prescription drugs and before the Meta glasses. Tua should be that is strictly aesthetics, right? That is Shaq refused to shoot free throws underhanded, even if he could shoot them 90%, because he says I'm not doing that. That's only aesthetics. That is the reason that Tua won't wear extra protective on his head. Correct?
I recall Chris Nowinski, who once alleged
sitting around waiting for head injuries. Nowinski.
potential manslaughter, saying that it would actually work against what's wrong with Tua because it would make the helmet a little heavier.
Yeah.
Am I the only one that questions? I don't think Shaq would have shot 90% if he shot underhand.
No.
He made them all in practice.
I'm just saying that even if he shot 90%, he said he would not do it. Even if I guaranteed him 90%, he said he would not do it underhanded because he would not be seen in public shooting free throws at that size.
A guarantee of 90%, you should definitely do it.
The science on these helmets still needs to get a little bit better.
Oh my
They look
God.
goofy. I mean,
They
Dobbs
look
is out there
terrible.
having 3 touchdowns, and I'm just thinking on my couch, I'm like, this guy's not good.
They look like clown helmets. They look like those exaggerated caps that people wear that are like this big.
It's a bizarre
ridiculous.
look. It's a bizarre look. I can totally understand why someone like aesthetically, I just can't do it because
do it.
the science needs to come a little further. And also, if you have a helmet that has like flints in it, it just looks bad.
Do you think that, because there was a receiver wearing it last night, I think I saw, right?
Yeah, I mean, Dobbs had caught 3 touchdowns in him.
Do you think the other players in the locker, do they make fun of that guy, the other guys in the locker room?
I mean, it's a weird thing to
It
make
looks
fun
stupid.
of. I mean, it doesn't look right. And it looks weird.
Okay, and you guys are funny doing this particular thing where you're like, where you're saying out loud, you're saying, well, if it does help you, you have to do it. And I, yesterday, had the conversation with you guys talking about the fact that Wake Forest went for 2 to win the game against Georgia Tech. Wake Forest, by the way, Wake Forest at home is going for the win in a tie game with a 2-point conversion. And we talked about Tom Osborne, who had the choice between winning or tying the game against Miami and getting the championship, or going for 2 and not getting the championship.
Balls move.
And you all argued that given the choice between winning a game or winning a championship, you're going for winning the game.
I think he was right.
Okay, but think about what you're saying. In what other instance would you say that I'd rather win just one game and not the championship? I'm choosing to, my choice is I can either win a game or get the championship if I just kick the extra point.
No, but winning the game wins you the championship. You're leaving that part out.
If you lose the game, do you win the championship? I'm confused by this scenario. It's a great question. I'm just a little confused.
Nebraska went for 2 and lost the championship, and if they'd gone for the tie, they would have won the championship. And you guys chose the game. You guys are continuing to say that was the right decision.
No, because I want both. I want the game and the championship.
Okay, but your choice was you can either tie the game and win the championship, or you risk losing the championship, and they lost the championship. And you're saying that's the right decision when you wouldn't make that argument in any other circumstance if I gave you the choice between what's more important, winning a game or winning the championship.
I think that's a good call by Tom Osborne. I don't think history has second-guessed that. Certainly Kenny Calhoun thought it was a good call because his fingertip lives in glory.
Tying a game to win a championship doesn't feel like winning a championship, unless you're the Cowboys because they won that tie.
You say history looks favorably on Osborne. He lost the championship. What history would look favorably on is Nebraska would forever have had the championship.
Yeah, right. That's true, but he gets credit for, having big
balls.
Yeah, big footballs. He gets credit for that.
Balls move.
Yeah, I mean he could have kicked an extra point, tied the game, and then lost an OT, and then what?
I don't think they had OT back then. I think it was a tie.
Correct.
Oh, not in the championship.
No, they didn't have OT.
Well, it wasn't a championship game.
It would have been a tie.
It was a bowl game.
Yeah, that's back when they
That's
didn't
true.
actually
That's
have
true.
championships and voters just decided.
Well, that's a bad call by college football. Got to get that right retroactively.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
I enjoyed talking about 1984
I know.
as both of
You
our.
started it.
I did.
That was a real roundabout way to really dig into how goofy these Guardian caps look.
I know they look terrible. I wouldn't wear one. They look like a cartoon. They look like somebody in a cartoon. Elmer Fudd would be wearing a helmet that big, just so other cartoon characters could laugh at him. The technology I predict that in a year, like next season, they're gonna get that right, and they're gonna have extra protective helmets that don't look like ridiculous extra protective helmets.
Well, why wouldn't they have that now then if they could do that?
Well, that's a good question. I'm not a scientist.
Oh, okay, good. Thanks for clearing that up.
Yeah. People mistake me for one, but I'm not. And I don't blame Tua for not wearing one. There are so many other ways to avoid concussions, okay? You dump the ball. You intentional ground it. You run out of bounds. There's a million different ways not to get a concussion, in my opinion.
You guys are really out here arguing you got to look good instead of brain safety. And furthermore, you're going, don't trust the science, even though, and that's fair to say we're in the early part of the science, and it's a violent game, and I don't know what actually protects you from concussions, but what they have out there is helmets that, while they don't look good, are being worn because they add additional brain safety. Mm-hmm. And you guys are saying, no, I'd rather look good.
Well,